Hello bookworms, it's Jade from Bedtime Bookworm and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to bring you the BookTube TMI tag. Before we get into tag, I want to start by saying that I am so excited that I reached 1,000 subscribers over the last weekend. I just want to say a sincere thank you to each and every one of you guys who have hit that little subscribe button. It means so much to me that you guys take time out of your day to watch my videos and listen to my thoughts on books. BookTube has totally changed my life over the last few years, and I could go on and on about how much I love it and why I love it, but bottom line is that the best part about BookTube is you guys and meeting new bookish friends and having people to talk about books with. So I'm doing a few things to celebrate this milestone. One of them is this tag. I was already tagged to do this, but I thought it was a perfect way to celebrate 1,000 subscribers by answering 50 random questions that are book related. The second way that I'm celebrating is that I will be doing a Q&A. I have done a few Q&As before, so if you have any questions for me, leave them down in the comment section, or you can send them to me over Twitter or Instagram, whatever you guys prefer. I'll be filming that Q&A about a week after this video goes up, so you guys have a week to send me questions. And then the third way that I'm celebrating is with a giveaway. I'm going to be giving away a signed first edition hardcover copy of A Conjuring of Light by Victoria Schwab, or VE Schwab. If the person who wins the giveaway doesn't want that book, that is totally fine. We can work something else out. I can get you a book of your choice from Book Depository or Amazon or wherever. So if you want to enter the giveaway, also leave a comment in this video, but in your comment, tell me what your favorite book that you've read so far this year is. And that's how I will distinguish between people just leaving comments because they want to leave comments and people who are actually interested in the giveaway. Okay, I think those are all of the 1K milestone announcements that I had. Let's move on to the tag. I was tagged to do this by Flynn Banteau, whose channel used to be Flynn's Banter. I will link their video where they tagged me down in the description box as well as the original video. There are 50 questions in this tag. I glanced over them and tried to come up with answers for a few, but I mostly wanted to do this off the cuff, although some of these questions are kind of hard, so we'll see how well that goes. I had a lot of fun with the way that I edited the regular TMI tag that I posted earlier this year, so I'm gonna do the same thing for this one. All right, let's do this. What fictional character has the best style? I can honestly say that I don't really pay attention to what characters wear in books, so I have no idea. Your book, girlfriend, boyfriend, fictional crush. It's really hard to pick just one, but my favorite for a little while now has been Hans Alistair from the Seven Realms series by Cinda Williams-Chima. Ever loved a character and then started hating them? Probably, but I can't think of an example. Biggest or longest book on your shelf? I have no idea. My dad did give me a Tom Clancy mass market paperback for Christmas, so probably that one. Heaviest book on your shelf. This is probably my illustrated versions of the first 3 books in the Harry Potter series. Those books are pretty heavy. Do you have any book posters? I actually do have a book poster, but it's not up anywhere. It's actually like folded up in my bookshelf in between pages of a book. I have a Torch Against the Night poster that I got from a bookish event that I went to, but I'm really not a book poster or even like a book swag kind of person. Sorry if that's an unpopular opinion. Do you have any book-themed jewelry? I also don't have any book-themed jewelry, but I would totally be down to wear book-themed jewelry. If you guys have any favorite bookish jewelry shops, then let me know. Book OTP? I'm gonna go with Hans and Reza from the Seven Realms series. They've been my top OTP for a little while now, although I recently read The Sea of Tranquility by Katja Millay, and the couple in that book, Natasha and Josh, I think. I'm so bad with names. I definitely gave the first couple a run for their money. It's definitely a little bit of a close call between the two, but I think Hans and Reza win for me. Favorite book series? I'm definitely gonna go with The Wheel of Time for this one. Favorite book to movie soundtrack? I'd have to say the Lord of the Rings soundtracks. They're so good. A book story you miss or wish could continue. I kind of actually had a hard time coming up with an answer for this one, but I think I'm gonna go with the Shades of Magic series by VE Schwab. I really love that trilogy and I wish it would continue. I'm sort of getting my wish because I know she's gonna be writing more books set in that world. Favorite standalone? I'm gonna have to go with my favorite book of the year so far, and that is Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. Since when do you read books? I started reading from a really young age, and I was always known as the reader in my grade ever since like kindergarten. Which Hogwarts house are you in? I am definitely a Ravenclaw. Quality you look for in a book. I want it to be good. I've always said that I'm really a plot-driven reader, but some recent experiences have shown me that I definitely need decent character depth as well. I think I kind of need a good balance of character depth, but also an exciting plot. Favorite book quote? I don't collect book quotes, so I don't have one.
Favorite author?
Oh man, I really can't just pick one author. I mean, maybe Robert Jordan because he wrote my favorite series. There are so many good authors out there, I definitely can't just pick one.
Favorite cover?
Man, this is really a hard one. There's definitely a lot of covers that I like, but to pick a favorite out of all of them is really hard. I looked through my Goodreads. I think I'm gonna go with the cover of The Last Magician by Lisa Maxwell. Action or romance? Definitely action. Where do you go when a sad moment happens? Usually I go to my bed and I cuddle with my puppies. How long do you need to finish a book? I mean, it really depends on the book, like how long it is, how much I like it, if I'm listening to it on audio or reading it physically, but it can be anywhere from like 3 to 4 days to like 3 weeks if I'm really struggling. How long is your mourning period? I don't get into book slumps very often, but when I do, I usually only take a few days off before starting another book. Least favorite book? Like ever? This is such a hard question. I think maybe The Deep by Nick Cutter, because it was a really good book until the ending. The ending totally ruined the rest of the book for me and made me really angry that I had spent all that time reading that book. Turn on in a character. I like characters that are really smart, especially if they're like socially really smart, like really good at reading people or really good at manipulating people. I think because those are qualities that I don't have. So I really admire when characters can do things like that. Turn off in a character. I don't know, characters that are arrogant or rude. The reason I joined Booktube? I joined Booktube to make more bookish friends, of course. Name a scary book. Speaking of Nick Cutter, the first book that I read of his was The Troop, and it was terrifying. The Troop actually covers one of my worst fears ever in life, so it was very terrifying to read. Last book that made you cry. So I'm one of those readers that cries pretty easily, so a lot of books have made me cry this year, but the one that has made me cry the most, and I mean I was sobbing, couldn't breathe sort of crying, was The Sea of Tranquility by Katja Millay. Last book that you gave 5 stars. The last book that I gave 5 stars to was Lord of Chaos by Robert Jordan, which is the 6th book in the Wheel of Time series, but that was a reread. The last book that I gave 5 stars to that was not a reread was Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. Any favorite book titles? I mean, kind of like the covers, there's a lot of titles that I've really liked, but I can't think of like one favorite book title. I looked at my Goodreads a little bit. I think I'm gonna go with Strange the Dreamer. I just really like that book title for some reason. It fits the book really well, but is also like really intriguing and you don't really know what it means. So yeah, Strange the Dreamer. Last book you read? I just finished reading Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young last night. Book you're currently reading? I'm currently reading 70s by Neil Stephenson. Last book adaptation that you watched? I can't really remember the last adaptation that I watched. I don't watch a lot of adaptations. It was probably one of the Maze Runner movies, but not the most recent one. I think I watched the one before the most recent one, like on HBO or something like that. Oh, actually, scrap that. I'm gonna go with The Handmaid's Tale on Hulu. I was thinking about this question from a movie standpoint, but that is definitely the last adaptation I watched. And I have to say that I think The Handmaid's Tale might be my favorite TV show ever, even more than Game of Thrones, which is kind of blasphemous for me. A book character that you've always wanted to talk to. I really don't think about these types of questions very often, so I don't know. Harry Potter? Dumbledore. Ooh, that would be a good one. I would love to talk to Dumbledore. An author that you've always wanted to talk to. Probably Robert Jordan, not to say his name again in this video, but I just find the world that he built so fascinating. I think the fact that he's dead and I can't talk to him makes me want to talk to him even more. Favorite book snack? Does coffee count? I don't really snack a whole lot while reading, but I definitely like to drink coffee, at least when I'm reading during the day, and most of my reading takes place at night, so that doesn't even make sense. Book world that you would want to live in. This is easy. Definitely the Harry Potter world. I mean, it's so much like our world, but it's so much cooler than our world at the same time. Book world you don't want to live in. I feel like a lot of the books that I read could fit for this question, but I'm gonna go with what I'm reading right now, which is The World of Seven Eves. It's like a post-apocalyptic world world where the moon explodes and the earth basically becomes uninhabitable. A bunch of people go and live in space. And a lot of the book talks about all of the dangers of space and all the many ways you can die in space, and that sounds terrifying. I do not want to live in space. Last time you smelled a book? I definitely don't remember the last time I've smelled a book. I definitely have smelled books, but who knows the last time I did it like on purpose. Weird insults used in a book? I can't really think of an example, but I feel like Lifelike by Jay Kristoff had some weird insults in it. Favorite romance book? I don't have a lot of romance books to pick from, but I think I'm gonna go with Sea of Tranquility by Katja Millay because it's one of the few romances I have read and really loved. Although it's not really romance, but it is contemporary romance. Do you write? The answer is yes, but only recently. Favorite magical item? Definitely a time turner. I wish I had one so badly. I feel like I could be so much more productive with a time turner. Your Quidditch position? The answer to this is that I wouldn't have one because I am terrified of heights, and I don't think I would have fun zipping around on broomsticks way up in the air. Name a song you connect with a book. Probably 1,000 Years by Christina Perry. Obviously, I relate that to Twilight. Funny story about that song, I was convinced that she wrote that song on her own and it just happened to fit perfectly with the movie, and I was a little crushed later when I found out that she wrote the song for the movie. Favorite book-related chat-up line? Probably something really simple and not embarrassing like, hey, what are you reading? Have you ever used it? No, I've never used it. Favorite book fandom? You know, I think I would have said Harry Potter if you had asked me a year ago, but now that I've gotten back into reading The Wheel of Time and I've gotten more into the Wheel of Time fandom, I think that's gotta be my favorite book fandom. How many books do you own? To be honest, I don't really know. A lot of my books are in boxes, and I have books in boxes from like high school that I don't even know where they are. But as far as what's currently on the shelf that I have right now, I'd say maybe 50. Somewhere between 50 and 100, but definitely less than 100. Who do you tag? I am tagging the following people as well as anyone else who is interested in doing this tag. It's definitely a bit of an older tag, but if you haven't done it before, the questions are fun.
Jade from Boho Bookworm. Tim from Books and Beers. Dane from Dane Reads. Harriet Rosie. Roya from Unicorn Hunter Books.
Alright guys, that is the Booktube TMI tag. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you like bookish content. I post 1 to 2 times a week. That is all I have for now. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bookworms, keep reading. Bye. It means so much to me that you are willing to sit and listen me. It means so much to me that you guys... Alright, let's move... Alright, let's move... Definitely gave me a run for my money, but I think that Hans and Raisa win in. They definitely gave Hans and Raisa a race. I just finished reading, what is it called?